Hey FPL managers, it's Josh here from FPL Hawley. I've got another green arrow in the books and I'm genuinely buzzing about where the season is headed. We're now 5 green arrows deep. I've broken into the top 1 million and I'm sitting at 832k overall rank. I'm not getting complacent. With chips starting to activate across the field and an international break chaos always lurking, this is where the real season begins. Today I'm going to break down for you my Game Week 7 performance, the key lessons I learnt, updates from this international break, and my plans for the crucial Game Week 8 to 11 stretch. Let's dive in. "81 points, a 525,000 green arrow, overall rank now sitting at 832k. That feels good, but I know what's coming. The moment more managers start activating their wildcards and bench boosts, that's when the field compresses and rank gains get harder and harder to come by. While I'm celebrating this result, I'm also staying as grounded as I can. Let me talk you through the moves I made in Game Week 7. I did Cucurella and Grealish out for Gabriel and Saka in. All 4 of those players returned in Game Week 7. Cucurella continues his personal mission to troll me, even though he's not even in my team. And Grealish gave me absolutely nothing since I wildcarded him in Game Week 4 to score the moment I ship him out. Both pairs of players scored 18 points combined. I'm neither up nor down. As a swap, I'm not really complaining because I'm particularly pleased about having my double Arsenal defence with Gabriel and Rare moving forwards. Arsenal's defence is looking so solid, and having that double defensive cover gives me real flexibility. Plus, I avoided a Game Week 8 headache because Grealish is ineligible to play against his parent club Man City. And sometimes in FPL, you have to make the moves that save you those future problems rather than the ones that might score you those immediate points. For those of you who joined my Game Week 7 deadline stream, you'll remember my coin toss decision between either selling Grealish or Gakpo for Saka. And I was feeling pretty smug on Saturday evening when Gakpo bagged a goal against Chelsea. Then Sunday rolls around and Grealish gets a slightly fortuitous goal by blocking a clearance in the last minute for Everton, but he ends up getting 10 points and fair play to him. But my logic was sound. I wanted Gakpo for 2 games across Game Week 7 and 8, especially at home to Manchester United in Game Week 8, rather than Grealish for just 1 game in Game Week 7. Now I know that Gakpo could go and get benched in Game Week 8, but I guess we'll just wait and see. As for Munoz, finally, Daniel Munoz, the goal he's been threatening to score for weeks, and I'm so glad that I held him. It's a good reminder that we shouldn't completely abandon attacking defenders just because everyone is obsessed with DEFCON right now. There is real value in defenders who get forward, and Munoz at that price point is proving that value. And Semenyo, what more can I say about him? He's an absolute beast and he continues to haul. Fair play to anyone who had the guts to captain him in Game Week 7 for his 18-point haul. That was a differential captain right there. So all in all for me, I got 7 returns from 11 players. I will take that every single game week, by the way. But the worry for me is that is now back-to-back blanks for João Pedro, Mateta and Reinders. Now, Reinders I'm not too concerned about. He's a budget midfielder. João Pedro and Mateta, though, they're blocking me from bringing in either Isak or Woltemade. And the problem is that they're both very difficult to sell right now. João Pedro has incredible fixture run coming up and is likely on penalties while Palmer's out injured. Mateta's underlying expected goals data looks absolutely elite. He should be the second best striker in the game right now, but he just can't finish. It's the classic FPL dilemma. Do I hold my player whose data's looking good but isn't delivering, or do I chase the form? How many points did you score in Game Week 7? Drop your score in the comments below. I want to know who's riding this green arrow wave with me. Let's talk about the 3 key takeaways from Game Week 7 that might shape how we think about the weeks moving ahead. First up, attacking defenders. Don't discount them entirely. 6 of the 8 highest scoring defenders in Game Week 7 got attacking returns. Gabriel, Timber, Burn and Dallo all picked up assists. Van Hecke and Munoz got goals. The only 2 defenders in that top 8 who didn't get attacking returns were Gabriel, who scored in Game Week 6, and Ruben Dias. The point here is simple. Yes, clean sheets are great. DEFCON is a legitimate strategy, but if you're completely ignoring defenders who get forward and create chances, you are leaving points on the table. Second, Chelsea's defensive struggles. After 7 game weeks, Chelsea statistically have the 3rd worst defence in the league. Only Burnley and Nottingham Forest have been worse. Their expected clean sheets sit at just 1.9, They've only kept 2 actual clean sheets, and their expected goals conceded is 10.2 versus 9 goals actually conceded. This was a massive reason I moved Cucurella on as my premium defender. I just couldn't justify the price tag for a defence that leaky, regardless of his attacking potential. And third, is Saka on penalties. Saka took Arsenal's penalty in Gameweek 7 against West Ham, much to the disappointment of the quarter of FPL managers who own Gyökeres. When asked about who would take the penalty, Saka said, and I'm paraphrasing here, when he grabbed the ball, he wanted to take it, and that's what he did. That's a classic striker mentality right there. We've seen Arsenal rotate penalty takers before last season, and that's usually between Saka and Odegaard. So the big question is, who takes the next one? We'll have to wait and see, but this adds another layer of appeal to Saka's ownership if he's cementing himself as first choice penalty taker. Oh, and just for context, that penalty was Saka's 100th goal contribution for Arsenal in his 200th appearance. Maybe he was taking the penalty because it was his 100th appearance. We'll have to wait and see. International break, let's run through what we need to keep an eye on. First, Argentina's schedule is causing chaos. Due to security and logistical concerns, Argentina's friendly against Puerto Rico has been relocated from Chicago to Miami and rescheduled to October 14th. This impacts several FPL assets. Martinez at Aston Villa, Romero at Tottenham, Senesi at Bournemouth, and McAllister at Liverpool, who will be returning later than originally planned. Speaking of Argentinians, Enzo Fernandez has withdrawn from international duty with a knee issue. He's been pictured in Argentina training with strapping on his right knee, but still completed nearly 80 minutes against Venezuela before being substituted on Friday. The Argentinian FA reported that Enzo withdrew due to synovitis in his right knee. Synovitis is apparently inflammation of the joint lining. Reports suggest it can take anywhere from a few days to weeks to recover. That's quite a big range, and it makes Enzo a real wait and see for Gameweek 8. Watkins has been ruled out of England's qualifier for tonight against Latvia. Watkins collided with the post just before half-time in the friendly against Wales and was substituted at the break. Thomas Tuchel said that after the game, Watkins was okay. It was painful, but as he understood it, it was only pain with no harm done. For the big one, Cole Palmer. Palmer's return is expected within weeks. Not days, not months, but weeks. Chelsea diagnosed a strained groin that requires no surgery. The latest report suggests we could be looking at November as his likeliest return. Whether that's before or after the international break in November is yet to be determined. This is crucial information if you're planning Chelsea coverage over the next month, like I am. And finally, Martin Odegaard. He's not expected to return to action until after the November international break due to his MCL injury. He's set to miss Premier League games against Fulham, Crystal Palace, Burnley and Sunderland, as well as Champions League matches against Atletico Madrid and Slavia Prague. This could make Eberechi as a really good option during November. The big takeaway here, hold your transfers until Friday at the earliest for the press conferences. International breaks always bring big surprises. Now let me give you the lay of the land for the next few weeks. We've got a 4-game week run before the next international break after game week 11 in that green box on the screen. And it's absolutely packed with midweek football. Between game weeks 8 and 9, we've got a full set of European fixtures across Champions League, Europa League and Europa Conference League. And remember, that's 9 Premier League teams playing in European competition. Between game weeks 9 and 10, it's the Carabao Cup round of 16. Then between game weeks 10 and 11, it's another full set of European midweek fixtures. So this is rotation roulette territory, even more so this season with those 9 Premier League teams playing in Europe, as I mentioned. This congested fixture period is exactly why chip strategy matters. If you've still got your wildcard, which I don't, game weeks 11 to 13 are looking like prime windows to activate it due to team fixture swings. For those who've already used their wildcard, like me, your focus should be on banking transfers and staying flexible. I'm aiming to have close to 5 free transfers as I can around game week 11 to try and offset the advantage wildcarders will have. Now, let's talk player watch list. These are players I'm monitoring closely, but not rushing to bring in just yet. My first new addition to my watch list is Ismaila Sarr at Crystal Palace. Now, I can't bring him in without a double switch because I'm already tripled up on Palace assets. But if Mateta keeps blanking and players like Isak or Woltemade look really hot, I could do Gakpo to Sarr and then freeing up funds to upgrade Mateta to either Isak or Woltemade. Sarr's underlying data is really strong. He's third in the league for expected goals, despite missing a couple of games through injury. Newcastle have a favourable run over the next 4 games. They have Brighton away, Fulham at home, West Ham away, and Brentford away. Woltemade is definitely one to watch. I'm interested to see what role he plays when Vissa returns to fitness, because there was talk of Woltemade playing more as a number 10, even though Eddie Howe traditionally doesn't play with a 10 in his system. If Woltemade keeps starting and keeps delivering, he will be a serious option at just 7.2 million. I would have liked Enzo as a Palmer placeholder, but with his injury concerns I mentioned earlier, I won't be going there. Caicedo is also an option at Chelsea. He's good for DEFCON, and he scored an absolute worldie against Liverpool in Gameweek 7. But I'll be honest, I have a bit of a mental block picking a defensive midfielder in FPL. It doesn't feel right, even when the data says otherwise. What players are you on your watch list right now? Let me know in the comments. I'm always curious to see if I'm missing someone obvious. I don't have particularly concrete plans for the next 4 game weeks, and that's intentional. Flexibility is key during this period. I have the funds to move to Isak if he starts banging for Liverpool, but I can't see myself bringing him in for Gameweek 8. After Isak, I'd like another Chelsea attacker for their nice run of fixtures from Gameweek 9 onwards, but I fear that's too early for Palmer, which means Enzo or Caicedo might be placeholders until Palmer is back. Not ideal, but sometimes you do have to make these compromises. If you look at the captain's matrix on the right of the screen, you can see that from Gameweek 9 onwards, the best captaincy options based on fixtures shift away from City and Liverpool towards Arsenal and Chelsea, particularly when Liverpool and City play each other in Gameweek 11. This raises some big questions. 1. Do you dare punt against Haaland when he's in the form he's in? That man is inevitable right now. 2. Could you confidently back a Chelsea asset outside of Palmer to deliver? I can't see myself captaining João Pedro anytime soon, and that's coming from someone who owns him. 3. There are still question marks over who takes penalties at Arsenal. Until we get clarity, that captaincy decision becomes much trickier. My loose plan is to captain Haaland for Gameweek 8 against Everton at home, and that's a no-brainer. Gameweek 9, potentially Palmer or João Pedro if Palmer's back. Otherwise, I'm looking at Saka or even sticking with Haaland. Gameweek 10, Saka against Burnley at home looks tasty. Saka against Burnley away looks tasty. And Gameweek 11 is the tricky one with City playing Liverpool. I might pivot to an Arsenal or Chelsea asset depending on form at that point. What are your planned transfers for the upcoming game weeks? Drop your strategy into the comments. I'd love to hear how you're approaching this period. And finally, my Gameweek 8 setup. I'm very likely rolling my free transfer this week. I've been burnt in the past with out of the blue benchings of certain players post-international break, and I'm not eager to repeat that experience. The late Argentina game makes me particularly nervous, which is why Senesi starts on my bench this game week. I do punting big on double up on defences. It can often bring huge upside, although I don't think having double Arsenal defence is in any way a differential these days. But a Palace clean sheet at home to Bournemouth would do wonders for my rank, as both Munoz and Richards are differentials for me. I would gladly sacrifice the Semenyo blank for those Palace clean sheet points. I currently have 1.1 million in the bank and 2 free transfers. If I roll, that would give me my 3rd free transfer going into game week 9, which is exactly where I want to be. I'm conscious that a lot of wildcards are being played around game weeks 11 to 13, so having close to 5 free transfers around that time will help me offset some of the wildcarders' moves without having to take any hits. Looking at my team, I can't see any major areas I want to upgrade this week. I just hope everyone returns from the international break unscathed and that Gakpo starts against Manchester United at home. As for my captain, there's no doubt. The armband stays on Haaland in game week 8, Everton at home. The man is unstoppable right now, and I'm not going to overthink it. So there we have it. Game week 7 is reviewed, international break monitored, and game week 8 is set. My strategy is simple. Stay patient, bank transfers where possible, and trust the process. If you found this video helpful, make sure you're subscribed to FPL Hawley because I do this every single week. Clear strategy, no panic, just smart FPL made simple. Drop your Game Week 8 plans into the comments below. And good luck in Game Week 8, everyone. And remember, trust the process, not the panic. I'll see you next time.